Hello and welcome to another edition of Foreign Dispatches, the program that takes you around the world in 25 minutes. I'm Layo Olarinde. On the program this week, a devastating situation in the French island of Mayyote and Mozambique as Cyclone Chido destroys lives, homes and livelihoods. Plus, Parisian Catholics filled with joy after the French Notre Dame Cathedral reopens for first public mass following the 2019 devastating fire. Tens of thousands of people are still without access to water in Mayyote after the French Indian Ocean territory was devastated by Cyclone Chido as rescuers race to find several missing people, and in Mozambique, the residents are picking up the pieces. Cyclone Chido left Mayyote without water and electricity, with residents warning of a looming crisis in the French overseas territory. The storm damaged buildings and uprooted trees across the island, disrupting critical infrastructure, including petrol stations and cash dispensers. Dozens of people have been killed, with fears of the death toll rising. Residents report dwindling food supplies and scarce drinking water. Disrupted communication networks has also left many unable to contact family or seek assistance.
Et pour l'instant, on constate qu'il n'y a toujours pas d'eau, pas d'électricité.
And for the time being, there's still no water, no electricity. The telephone and internet networks are disrupted. Not everyone is able to call their family. And then there's the problem of electricity and running water.
Une semaine, si les autorités n'arrivent pas à distribuer.
Seriously, I think that within a week, if the authorities don't manage to distribute drinking water and food aid, there could be people who simply starve to death. And then there's a chance of looting and violence.
Il y a une chance qu'il y ait des pillages et des violences. Voilà.
Agricultural areas were severely affected, with fields and crops destroyed. Authorities face the challenge of restoring basic services and preventing a potential humanitarian disaster. The International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, IFRC, says it fears for 200 of its 250 volunteers after the devastating cyclone.
We have a team of 250 volunteers who are working for the French Red Cross branch there. And we haven't been able to connect with about 200 from them. But for now, it would be too early to say if these people have come to any harm, because, as I said, the uncertainty about the connectivity makes it really hard to assess.
IFRC has been able to confirm the deaths of dozens of people and 800 people injured. Rescue workers have been searching for survivors amid the debris of shanty towns.
So far, what we know is that dozens of people are dead, and we have about 800 injured, but we expect the final number to be much higher than that because we haven't been able to confirm the whereabouts of more than 100,000 people. We know that there are hundreds of people who have been injured, and the storm also damaged the local hospital infrastructure, so many of them are not operational. We know that there are field hospitals on the way, that many organizations, including us, are trying to set up more medical facilities, but unfortunately this will take time until we are able to get all these resources on the island.
Meanwhile, drone footage shows the aftermath left by Cyclone Chido in Mozambique's Makufi district in Cabo Delgado province after hitting France's poorest overseas territory, Mayyote. Chido made landfall in North Mozambique, where it quickly weakened and was reclassified as a tropical storm, but still destroyed several houses. One resident described the nights the storm hit as a terrible experience as Mozambicans start to pick up the pieces.
we were really afraid. We were sleeping, me and my girlfriend. The cyclone starts at 4 a.m. Then she woke up and she said, "Baby, I'm afraid. What's happening outside?" I said, "No, it's a cyclone." As we saw in the notice the days ago. So let's be careful. So I saw my roof. How can I say? I saw my roof stands, and I told her to go out to the house because we don't know what should happen in that moment. So it was really terrible, the terrible experience that I had in my life.
The winds from Storm Chido were so strong that it ripped the sheets of corrugated iron right off the frames of Bincha Jose Nakira's home in Mekufi, just south of Bimba.
When the cyclone came, I thought I was going to die. It was very scary. I was surrounded by kids and children. The children were crying and screaming. They were all scared, and they all felt that they were going to die.
Nakira and her family took shelter in their home, moving around to avoid the rain that was pouring in from the places where the roof was ripped off, until the entire roof was gone. Now she needs to rebuild her home.
First, the entire family was staying here in this corner, and it was the first time the metal sheets were blown off. So then, we moved here, and then this part disappeared, and we don't know where it went. So it was very strong. The wind was so strong that the metal sheets just disappeared.
Officials said more than 300 others had been injured by Chido in Mozambique, and over 40 people killed, and 170 fishing boats destroyed. Cyclone Chido devastated large parts of the archipelago of East Africa, strewing homes over hillsides and cutting off phones, power and drinking water. With pageantry and dignitaries, France unveils the reborn Notre Dame. 5 years after a devastating fire, the reopening of the cathedral restored in its full glory to the Paris skyline and delivered a much-needed morale boost.
Newly restored Notre Dame Cathedral held its first Mass on Sunday, with Christians celebrating the return of the French capital's most famous place of worship after a historic reopening ceremony. The beloved Paris monument nearly burned down in 2019, but has been fully renovated inside and fitted with a new roof and spire during a frenzied 5-year refit. The inaugural Mass was led by Paris Archbishop Laurent Ulrich, with 150 bishops and more than 100 priests from the capital in attendance, as well as French President Emmanuel Macron and other world leaders.
Au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit.
The Catholics were invited, along with dignitaries and state officials, to the Mass presided by Paris Archbishop Laurent Ulrich, who consecrated Notre Dame's new altar, a bronze basin that stood in contrast to the marble and white stone of the church's interiors. The Archbishop led prayers and consecrated a new altar which replaced the old one that was destroyed 5 years ago. For dozens of parishioners and charity members from around Paris who had the chance to attend the first Mass in 5 years, it was a very beautiful, profound and moving ceremony full of joy and rebirth.
It was full of joy and above all hope, because we thought it was over for the Notre Dame, and we see that it could be reborn. And it gives not only hope for the monument, but also hope for our world. And with all the violence happening, we really hope we find the path to peace.
The Saturday before one of the most moving moments came when firefighters in their protective gear walked through the congregation to thunderous applause as the word Merci was beamed on the intricate facade and famous bell towers of the Gothic masterpiece. The architectural wonder had been in danger of collapsing during the April 2019 blaze and was saved only by firefighters pumping vast quantities of water onto the flames from the nearby River Seine. The cathedral reopened on Saturday, December 7th, with an elaborate ceremony that included organ recitals, choral performances and prayers.
The grand organ of the Notre Dame, which had been completely restored over this period, will give back its voice, its multiple voices, its harmonies.
The cathedral's famed pieces, including its stained glasses, the Pietà statue and the statue of St. Louis, were once again on display for the attendees to see. The cathedral will open fully to visitors on December 16th via an online reservation system. The cathedral's first stone was laid in 1163 and construction continued for much of the next century, with major restoration and additions made in the 17th and 18th centuries.
Christmas is just around the corner, and in Rovaniemi, Finland, known as the hometown of Santa Claus, Father Christmas gives his annual message that holds hope for a peaceful world. Sitting in his grotto in Rovaniemi on the Arctic Circle, Santa Claus says he hopes for a peaceful world as he wishes everyone a Merry Christmas. Meeting with visitors and reading letters sent from all over the globe, Santa asked the people to find a way to get some Christmas cheer.
I really hope that people could have their Christmas time in a traditional way, the way they have used to have that. You can have your relatives with you, your family, or you can be alone. People have their Christmas, they celebrate their Christmas in so many ways, and all the ways they are the right way for each person. And I hope you have some cheer at your Christmas. And I hope you have some new memories for the future about a good Christmas. And I really hope that we could find a way that people could live in peace, because sad things are happening around the world all the time. We can't deny that. But I really hope that we could find a way that how to live in a peace together around the world. So Merry Christmas.
Santa Claus also said there were many different ways to celebrate Christmas and that they were all right. Visitors come from all over the world to meet with Santa here in Finland.
It's a very nice place. It's a big pleasure for us that we can be here and we can meet Santa Claus. My daughter is very shy, so Maja, spójrz na pana. So for us it's a very big, dream. It was a very big dream, yes, to will be here.
So after 54 years, this is our first time to be able to be with Santa, so it's so exciting and we're so happy and glad that we tried this experience. So we're all happy to be here.
It was amazing. It was very cute. I think the whole setup is very cute. The Santa thing.
Quite fascinating,
I loved it.
quite fascinating, yes.
In the nearby post office, dozens of Santa's elves have been busy sorting the many letters they receive with children's requests for Christmas gifts. Santa receives hundreds of thousands of letters every year.
Santa has received hundreds of thousands of letters to Santa Claus main post office from all over the world. So far, most letters have arrived from Asian countries like Taiwan and also European countries. Poland would be in top 5 of them. This year, children have asked a lot of toys for present, and a very common wish has been a stress ball.
The post office is constantly busy with many visitors wanting to send their Christmas greetings from Santa's village, complete with a special Arctic stamp. We'll take a break now on Foreign Dispatches. When we return, we'll bring you more Christmas stories as we count down to Christmas Day, December 25. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Christmas arrived early for the SOS Children's Village in Pretoria, South Africa. The Nigerian Doctors Forum in the country generously donated 35,000 rands to the shelter. The SOS Children's Village cares for over 90 children, many of whom have been neglected by their parents or are orphans. This donation aims to provide much-needed support to the children and ensure their well-being during the festive season. Our South Africa correspondent, Innocent Samosa, has more.
It's the festive season, a time of giving. In the spirit of the holidays, the Nigerian Doctors Forum South Africa has made a generous contribution to a village in Mamelodi, east of Pretoria.
We represent a body of doctors, over 200 doctors of Nigerian extracts practicing in South Africa. And we feel, as part of our social responsibility and the impact we can have on our communities, to be able to assist the underprivileged members of our society. Our hearts are touched by the enormous work that this organization do in terms of sheltering the kids in their custody.
Tadita Matiti from SOS Children's Village says it's truly heartwarming to see organizations coming together to make a difference.
I'm so happy about this because we have so many needs and we'll cover some of our needs, especially during this festive season. Yeah.
What would you like to say to the Nigerian Doctors Forum?
I would like to say to them what they did is so big to us, and they must always do that. By doing that, they are putting a smile on our children, and I'm so happy. On behalf of all mothers and the management, I thank them from the bottom of my heart.
I would like to thank them for donating and for their help and support.
The outreach event rounded off with an elegant evening of glitz and glamour at a star-studded gala night.
And finally, homes in Sydney's southwest have drawn crowds and thrilled onlookers with dazzling Christmas light displays over the past week, bringing the Christmas and community spirit to the suburbs in the process. The Sydney suburbs light up, bringing in the Christmas and community spirit along Swansona Avenue in the Sydney suburb of Mount Annan. Houses are decorated with thousands of string lights and numerous Christmas-themed displayed pieces and inflatables.
Started off with a few of the houses behind and along this strip of the road here. I think it may be like 4 or 5 houses, but now there's about 8 to 10 different houses that are doing it now. There's a lot of consistency on each side of the road. A lot of the houses that don't, have time or the contributions to do the lights. There's a few neighbours that all get together and they go, just to get an agreement from these neighbours that don't have the time to do it, if they can give them some money and go buy lights for them, and then they'll put it up. So yeah, it's kept the street going, and over the years it's just grown.
The first part of the Christmas lights is the arches down here.
Local resident Brian Carr began the tradition on Swansona Avenue years ago and even started putting his lights up at the end of August this year.
Yeah, a lot of thought in the design. I like to have things neat and tidy, and thinking with the house, I've got the warm set of lights trickling down, then I've got the coloured lights. A lot of people just chuck things up, and you do need to have some sort of design about it.
Delighted onlookers who either drove or walked the length of homes get a better look and take photos with friends and families.
It's really nice. It's actually stunningly beautiful. This is the first time we've been here actually. He came across this place on Facebook and we're like, all right, let's hop on the car, let's go check it out. And it's been beautiful.
So much better. So much better. The sense of community is fantastic. They usually have, vans come, like trucks come, and coffee and ice cream for the kids. It's really fun. And Santa as well.
Putting months of work into the designing and implementing of his Christmas lights, Carr said he was disappointed when a complaint to the energy provider saw a team come down and cut the lights from a light pole in front of his home. He then added a Grinch stuffed toy to the Christmas light pole.
Put the Grinch on just as a symbol, as a statement to the local resident that, the Grinch has ruined the Christmas light pole. It's Sydney's first Christmas light pole that was done, and it's no longer. So, a bit devastating, but it is what it is.
The city of Sydney sparkles during the holiday season with everything from a traditional Christmas lunch by the harbour to magical lights and plenty of caroling. And that's the program for today. Remember, our top stories are never far away. You can catch them on channelstv.com. Thank you so much for watching the program. Merry Christmas to you. I'm Layo Olarinde. Bye for now.